Damn, I actually made it like center frame this time. Hell yeah. Hello, trads, goons, and tactical chats. Welcome back to the channel. I apologize for my brief hiatus there. I had some life stuff come up that I needed to attend to first and foremost. So yes, I had to take care of all of that. And then of course I had this kind of on its way. So yes, I apologize for that. Today, we are going to be taking a look, and a very brief look, because I have a lot more to talk about than just this goddamn optic. Because trust me, I ain't the first one to be talking about it, and to be fair, I'm pretty late to the party, but I got a lot more to say than just, you know, nice ass kissy things about this optic. So, shall I get into it? Apparently, 90 some odd % of you are not subscribed. That really breaks my heart. If you would so kindly please consider subscribing to the channel, it really does help quite a bit. I literally run the entire show here, so all the support really is appreciated. So please definitely consider subscribing and hitting the notification bell just so you guys get notified when I do drop content. Now, with all that shameless plugging out of the way, I do have to mention one last thing. Primary Arms did not send this out to me. I had to spend a lot more money than I had available to make sure that, you know, I could shoot straight. So I have no affiliation with Primary Arms whatsoever. They do not know that I was even a spawn to walk the earth. So yes, there are absolutely no corporate biases or buyouts or anything going on here, I promise. With that out of the way, this is, once again, the Primary Arms SLX 1:6 ACSS NOVA. Thank you, Brass Facts. It was him, actually, Brass Facts. Thank you for bringing this to my attention. I've been in the Primary Arms market. I've been in the LPVO market for quite some time. Obviously, because, well, this one has taken a dump on me, which really quickly, there's actually kind of a funny size difference here. So let's just size up really quickly here. This is also like subtracting the scope cap there. Really quick note. But yes, I've been in the LPVO market for quite some time. That has been the only real optic that I have put through hard use other than a red dot. So I'm definitely far more partial to LPVOs, which I will get more into later on once we start talking about things other than just this optic specifically. Because as you all know, here at Valkyrie Research, I do not review things. I like to give things application. I like to nerd out over the thing, you know, and actually, I guess, play some armchair warfare and really take into consideration what your intent is for the gear that you purchase and the shit that you throw in your rifle. So with all of that now out of the way, all my disclaimers and shit just keep going on and on and on, I swear. This is a new lineup to their LPVO series. It's in their SLX category. So this is like a more budget-minded optic. This thing came in at about $350, I want to say, after shipping. It does have a fancy new reticle. For like Vortex fans, that might look a little familiar to you, huh? Yeah, Primary Arms just came swinging. There's the spec sheet for you. I'm not going to do the reviewer thing and go through all of it. The weight is something to note, though. That is 17.85 ounces naked. So this is more pushing like 18 somewhere, 18 and a half with the mounts, which this mount is not a bad mount. I actually just recently figured out that that screw is completely stripped, the threading on the interior at least. So make sure you inspect your gear, kids. But what's nice about this reticle, I really want to quickly go over this reticle here, see if I can even get this little theory of mine to work. But yeah, no, I'm not gonna, well, maybe. See, I already had the illumination going, but what I like about reticles of this style, oh my God, can I get it? Maybe. Yep. Okay, I'm not going to try anymore, but you get the point. So just think of a Vortex PST Viper Gen 2 reticle. It is a crosshair style with really interesting BDC mill hybrid stuff going on here. I'll overlay a quick doodle that I made of it and just how it made sense in my brain, because I'm not ballistically challenged. There's just a lot of numbers involved when it comes to zeros and reticles and stuff. So I'm not going to get into that because I failed algebra like 3 years in a row in high school. So I'm not the person to come to when it comes to math. Not at fucking all. Do not come to me for a math problem. Just don't. Aside from the reticle being super cool, well, I guess one other thing I want to note about the reticle is that bullet drop compensation system, the BDC/mill. I don't know how that is going to play out when it comes to my particular zero. I do run a 36-yard zero, which is handy because it's typically point of aim, point of impact out to about 200-300 yards or so. Then it starts to deviate a little bit, but the deviations tend to be a little bit smaller. So once I am able to get more range time out of this, I will come back with more data on that, as this is just a primer really into a lot what I have prepared for 2024. So definitely subscribe so you can, see the cool shit we're about to drop. It's gonna be awesome. No, 2024 is gonna be great, guys, I promise. Now, this isn't really awesome Japanese glass either. Some people do say it's comparable to the Viper PST Gen 2. Oh my God. Too many letters. It's comparable to the Viper. Others say it is better. Cameras are really, really bad. They are notoriously bad for not clearly representing the clarity of an optic. Really, especially LPVOs, because of how much light bullshit's going on in there. All the weird black magic when it comes to like concave and convex glass and light refractions and things that I cannot conceptualize because I am this thing called autistic. However, I am willing to get autistic about different things about optics, like what is the best optic for you? Because quite honestly, this is actually so far, just from my very limited dry fire experience from this, seems like it's a pretty legit optic. I obviously do not plan on dropping it. Do not drop your LPVOs. They will not survive. So stop drop testing them until a manufacturer comes out with a ruggedized, holy shit, oh my fucking God, until a manufacturer comes out with a ruggedized LPVO, stop drop testing them. They're gonna keep failing. Just please stop it. You're breaking my heart every single time. And you're making me anxious because goddamn it, I hate losing my zero. Now that I'm done babbling about my business and bullshit, holy crap. Let's talk a little bit more about optic selection, and I guess coming from someone who is definitely far more partial to LPVOs and this thing called positive identification, and why magnification is, at least in the modern sense, mandatory. I mentioned this in my previous video. Go check it out. Optics like these, LPVOs, have this really cool feature where you can dial your optic down from 1 power, theoretically true 1 power, all the way up to either a capped of a 6, 8, or 10 if you have a big penis, which I do not. Please do not ask questions. This is capped out at a 6, which for this rifle setup, I think, this barrel length in particular, I think is a great top end, at least, again, considering the velocities we were getting with a 13.7-inch barrel. Also considering just the type of person I am, the things that I will be doing, I lean more towards LPVOs. I kind of like the ability to stand back a little bit, but still be able to, you know, globe someone if I really have to. One of the other cool and I guess unique things about this optic in particular is it touts a true 1x based on all internet footage that I've seen, where you take, you know, the optic and you can line it up with parallel objects that are not being seen through the optic, and you can use that to track the 1x-ness of an optic based on, you know, how much bending or fisheyeing is going on. It's an interesting test, and it seems to be pretty decent on the 1x side. That's one thing it does have going for it. As for the reticle in a CQB sense, they also tout a daytime bright red dot, because it's got this really interesting, it's like a built-in, I'm actually referencing the box right now because it's in here. On the box, it states, this optic features our new ACSS NOVA reticle, which features an ultra bright fiber optic illumination with advanced targeting, ranging, and mil stadia, blah, 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 blah. It's right there on the box. This optic is powered not only by a battery, which is kind of confusing if it's also being powered by fiber optic, which makes this thing stupid fucking bright. And I'll tell you right now, if we take the internet's least favorite red dot, the Hollow Sun HS407 Bravo. We actually turn this thing on if I even have a battery in it. Yep. All right. So we take a red dot like this. And you've got that massive dot right there. That's pretty bright, right? And we compare that to this. We're going to try this test again. Where's my cap? I personally like it at 7. I think 7 is the sweet spot, at least for my eyeballs. But let's see here. So we're going to go through it. So I know this is 11. And that's already, like, just look at that. Don't even worry about the image itself. But let's take that. And again, this is also coming through a camera, so this is not the greatest representation. And you can take a red dot like this. Do not tell me that's not red dot bright. Let's get some image in there. Like, come on. That's pretty decent. And that's at 11. That's cranked to 11. Let's go down to 7. So here's 11, 10, 9, 8, 7. I think that's perfect, in my opinion. It's also being bloomed on camera a little bit. I can tell just by looking at it because that's a lot crisper in person. I'm telling you right now. And then that's 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then it just drops out into a black crosshair, which I like. This is why I like retched eticles. This is also a second focal plane for all you first focal plane lovers. Sorry. But it does have a retched reticle, and it's a crosshair reticle, which I love. It might be because I was raised on like super old school hunting rifles that just had the plain old crosshair. There's just something super familiar to it. There's also this, I don't know, ease of use of it, I guess. My eyes are just super drawn by two lines intersecting each other. Just simple geometry, I guess. It's called a focal point. It's also an art thing too, funny enough. But just the combination of features on this for someone like me running a rifle like this, which now we're going to get into the meat and potatoes of this. I'm what you would call someone who likes to prioritize accuracy. No, I have nothing against red dots in particular at all. However, my thing with just a red dot alone, and I've talked about this and I referenced this just a minute ago, is it lacks magnification. It's great if you're in a house and you don't have to worry about any extra depth other than, let's say, like 20 yards. You know, you're fine usually. But if you got someone wandering on your property, you have no idea what they're doing. They could be under the influence of something or everything. You never fucking know. You don't know what they've got in their hand. Is it, you know, that extra Coors Light that you asked? And this is the guy who's suddenly delivering it. And did he help himself to some as well? Because it may be so based on the way he's acting. Or is that a firearm or a knife or, God forbid, an IED? Being able to identify targets from a distance is helpful from a legal standpoint. Not only that, from a tactical standpoint too, because then you can put yourself farther away from a potential threat or target, whatever you're doing. It's cheap insurance if you really think about it. Now, I'm not trying to make a case for magnified optics. Really, I'm trying to illustrate the point that magnification is just good to have. Whether it be a fixed magnification with something like this, piggybacked, which will be happening soon, or offset, which I would love to do, but this fucking mount. Or you go the route of something like this, with the, you know, your bottom end of one, you know, if you're in a position where you can't mount a red dot anywhere because you don't have the right mount and you don't have the real estate to do so, which, as you may have noticed, yeah, I've got this thing pretty far back. More on that on a later video. You just got to figure out what your tastes are, honestly. But personally, still, I think even like the smaller rifles are, even the smaller builds, like your sub guns, your PDWs, things like that. I think having like a 1.5, even a 2 with standby irons or something like that would be a tremendous force multiplier, because as we have seen in like the Elijah Dickens instance, in whatever other mass shooting incidents that has been stopped by someone else with a firearm, generally there's been some kind of distance. The more accurate you can be, the faster you can end something with as few casualties as possible. At the end of the day, magnification is going to be the first thing that will check that box. Consider magnification. And if you're considering magnification, please consider the primary arms, SLX 1-6, ACSS NOVA. Thank you, Brass Facts. I am not sponsored by them, so if that is a little over-scripted, I did all of that on the spot just for you. With all that being said, this is, I guess, a brief video. Finally, I say brief video in most of my videos, and it turns out to be like 45 minutes or something like that. But I just kind of wanted to showcase something that I now have here in the armory on my main squeeze. And yeah, just to kind of give you guys an idea of what we have, or what I have going on, as I am, you know, a one-lady show. With all of that being said, thank you so much, ladies, gentlemen, and the trads, and the chads, you goons, and the giga chads. My name has been Valkyrie. Please, again, consider subscribing, liking this video, and leaving a comment down below. I love your guys' comments. Thank you so much for just being here, really. 2024 is among us, guys. The world may be going to hell in a handbasket, but God damn it, that handbasket's got great bread. So enjoy that bread. Go get that bread. Go do something with yourself. For all of those of you who are looking for that green light on that one thing, this is your green light. Take it. Send it. 2024, you're going to dedicate yourself to that. I believe in you. I believe in you. Sister Valkyrie believes in you. And that is all I have. Thank you so much, y'all. Happy belated holidays. Happy New Year. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Fuck the ATF. Shoot straight.